to the entertainer talking sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. Hope everybody's staying safe out there. Got a couple of topics I want to talk about today. Of course, the main topic being Deandre Baker. Quotes came out today from his lawyer, or actually late last night from his lawyer, basically stating that he is incredibly confident that Deandre Baker will be proved innocent in this case. He even went as far to say that he thinks he'll be back with the New York Giants in a week. And the New York Giants will see a changed man. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out because, like we've said all along, you know, the Giants still have to allow Baker back on the team. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out because Baker, of course, still missed the voluntary meetings. He put himself in a bad situation, and I hope for Baker's sake and I hope for the Giants' sake that if Baker is innocent, that they do give him a chance to come back. At the end of the day, the guy is still incredibly talented. He's still a young man that put himself in the wrong situation. Maybe he was foolish, but if he is not guilty of these crimes, I do believe in people have second chances, and we'll wait to see how it all plays out. Of course, Joe Judge came out and said that everybody's going to have a clean slate, but we'll see if he is proven innocent. Like I said, I'm going to continue to reserve judgment until all the facts come out. In addition to that, I wanted to talk about Saquon Barkley and some of the quotes that he had to say that came out regarding his injury last season. He finally, for the first time in forever, definitively said that he was playing hurt last year, and I'll give my thoughts on that after we pull up the quotes. But let's jump into some of the things that Baker's attorney, or one of his attorneys, had to say on the matter. First thing, he's got an opportunity to become the next Ray Lewis, and not the next Ray Rice, attorney Patrick G. Patel told SNY late Sunday night. There's two guys who went into two different directions. I told DeAndre that, and he seems very focused. He's scared straight. I can say that. Of course, Ray Lewis was reportedly involved in a murder. I think it was like a week before the Super Bowl when they played the New York Giants, and he was later proven innocent or not guilty. I don't remember all the facts on the case. They let Ray Lewis back in. Ray Rice, of course, it was video evidence. He didn't have a leg to stand on. Ray Rice has still not returned to the NFL. Ray Lewis then became a role model, for a lot of the players. Next thing, Patel believes those charges are complete garbage. There was no robbery, Patel said, nothing at all. He's absolutely taking that position. And I'm confident that the state is going to look at all the facts and realize it's absurd that a kid making $2 million a year is going to steal a fake watch. And yes, conventional wisdom would say that that is the case. But like I said, we can't just go based off of that. There's been a lot of crimes, particularly to athletes, in recent years that may have not made sense, but they happened. All you got to do is go back and look at the Aaron Hernandez documentary. So, like I said, let's not rule him innocent or guilty yet. Let's wait until we see everything play out. But these are definitely confident quotes coming out from DeAndre Baker's lawyer. Next thing, the situation is simple. Dre was the first-round draft choice at the party. There were no other first-round draft picks. Quentin Dunbar is an NFL athlete too. These two guys were the marks. So he's basically saying that these people that supposedly accused, DeAndre Baker of committing these crimes saw it as an opportunity to try to make money off of him. And we'll have to wait and see if that is the case. Next thing. Instead, Patel, who is currently housing Baker, expects the cornerback to return to the Giants' virtual meetings as early as next week. He also believes the Giants will see a changed man. He seems like a changed individual, Patel said. In 2 days, sometimes going to jail does that. He's scared straight. He's completely focused on what he has to do. He's just going back to work. And he's certainly looking forward to nobody taking his position. He doesn't want anybody taking his position as the Giants' starting cornerback. And, of course, he doesn't want anybody taking his position as the Giants' starting cornerback. And I would hope, if he is deemed innocent in this case, that it would scare him straight if the New York Giants do allow him back on the football team. But I will say this. This will be the last straw, if they allow him back at all, if and when he is proved innocent, because Joe Judge is a no-nonsense guy. He's not going to put up with nonsense. Obviously going into the year, DeAndre Baker had a history in his rookie season. So we'll wait to see how it all plays out. But hopefully that's the case. Of course, his lawyer is going to portray a positive image. Next thing. This is the quotes coming out from Saquon Barkley regarding last year's injury. And it was kind of up for debate whether or not Saquon Barkley should have came back last year. It was an injury that a lot of people thought would keep him out right around till the bye week. He was back like 3 or 4 weeks after the fact, like 4 weeks before the projected timetable. And to me and most Giants fans, it was noticeably different in terms of his play. You could see he wasn't aggressive, he wasn't assertive, and he went on to say that he actually even furthered damaged the injury in his first game back with the Arizona Cardinals. And to me, this was just a poor decision on Saquon Barkley's part. It was a poor decision on the New York Giants' part to rush Barkley back in a season in which they weren't really going anywhere anyway. You know that Barkley's the future of this team, and hopefully Barkley and the Giants, if this does happen again, don't make the same mistake. I completely get that Saquon Barkley is a competitor, that he doesn't want to make any excuses, and I love that. That's one of the things that I love about Saquon Barkley. He doesn't put himself above anybody else. He knows he's the leader of this football team, and he wants to be treated the same way, and he wants to make sure he can do everything he can in order to win football games, which is the types of players that you want. But sometimes you have to be smart, rather than be prideful. But here's the quotes. I was trying to test myself to see where my strength is and how bad it actually hurts. With injuries, there's always a deadline for everyone. Like the high ankle sprain takes 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. But I wanted to try and get it moving and try to get it as good as I can to get back. And that's all well and good. The next thing he went on to say, in the first game, I came back, I ran a rush to the right side of the field, and I kind of got rolled up on it again, Barkley said. Luckily, it was wet. It was a rainy game, so I didn't get stuck on anything, but it was just nagging. It happens. It was tough to deal with. Once we got to the offseason and I got some time to myself to work on it and be happy with it, it made me feel a lot better. And listen, I completely get that the NFL is a sport where you have to play through injury, and it's definitely a sport for tough guys, and Saquon Barkley is certainly one of them. And he's very prideful, and he's definitely a leader of this New York Giants football team. Make no mistakes about it. But at the end of the day, the smarter decision for Barkley and the New York Giants in that instance would have been to hold him out. You know, like if it was a season where we're competing for a Super Bowl, I'd understand it. You look at a guy like Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley is not near the player he was. You cannot risk injuries like that early on in his career. By all accounts, Saquon Barkley seems like he's ready to go. He's 1,000%. But what I would advise Barkley and the Giants in the future in a situation like that would be to be, careful and not rush him back to potentially suffer a career-ending injury and potentially, damage his future with the New York Giants. As far as Baker goes, like I've said, innocent until proven guilty. These are very encouraging things, though. I've also read things about video evidence. We'll wait and see how it all plays out. His lawyer seems incredibly confident, but that, to be fair, is what good lawyers are going to do. They're not going to try to present, a pessimistic viewpoint. So we'll wait and see. But hopefully, if this is all true, and hopefully if DeAndre Baker is innocent, he's learned from his mistakes and he's learned from his past. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. Hopefully Baker, if he's allowed back with the New York Giants, has his head on straight and he's ready to go this season. And I'm rooting just as much as anybody for his innocence. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe, drop a comment, maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.